Hello and welcome to another episode of Python for Spike Prime. Today we're going to learn about using functions to make your robot do really accurate turns. Hello, my name is Gary and today we are going to look at using functions. So it's going to be a little bit more complicated than the previous episodes. So if you haven't already, then check out the previous episodes over here. Today we're going to look at defining functions, which in Scratch equates to something like myblocks. Myblocks are really useful in Scratch because it lets you repeat things that you don't want to have to retype or copy a lot of times. So functions are really important for programming in general. Let's jump right in. First of all, let's open up Spike Prime, start a new project, call it CA Python Functions, and then hit the Python icon, click Create. We'll hide the helper. Okay, so here we are importing all our classes, then we create objects, and then we run the code. So here, let's do some hints just for our own reference because there's going to be a bit of a change later on. First thing we want to do is define our motors. So let's change it up a bit. Let's call it wheels equals motor pair C. Remember, these objects, we can call them whatever we want. So wheels, movement motors, they're all fine as long as you keep consistent all through your code. And then the way that we use the gyro to turn on a robot is that we use the internal gyro on the Spike Prime hub. There's no separate gyro sensor for Spike Prime. It's all built into the hub, and the sensor is called a motion sensor inside the Python language. When we want to turn a certain angle, for example, if we want to turn the robot 90 degrees, a lot of people who start off with coding with Lego get confused. They use the move degrees command. So they might do something like say, I want to move in degrees, so let's go wheels dot move, and then let's go like 90 degrees. Right? That looks correct, but it's actually not, because when you put in 90 degrees like that, the degrees is actually the amount that the wheels are rotating. Okay, so if the wheels rotate 90 degrees, it's like a quarter of a rotation, and that's not going to be enough to turn your robot all the way around to 90 degrees. So it's a little bit tricky for new programmers to understand that the 90 degrees on the movement wheels only change the degrees of the movement, not the actual whole angle of the robot. Does that make sense? In order to do that, we need to do this. So we go while hub dot motion sensor dot get your angle is less than 90. Then, so this is a while loop, and we're repeating something until the your angle is no longer less than 90 degrees. What are we repeating? We're repeating the wheels movement. Wheels dot start 100. So when you go start, then the value in here is a steering value. Remember, it defaults at 0, which is a straight move, but 100 is a turn towards the right, and negative 100 is a turn towards the left. And then when we reach 90 degrees, then what do we want to do? Wheels dot stop. Okay. Super simple, but there was a lot to unpack in there, right? Let's connect our robot and try to get it working. Okay, all right, connected. Let's run the code and see if we do a 90-degree turn. Cool. So that works. It was a little bit quick, so let's change the speed down a little bit. Wheels.set default speed to say 20. Alright, but now what if I wanted to repeat right-hand turns throughout my code? I don't want to have to copy this out all the time. So now we're going to create a function. So to create a function, the proper way to do it would be to do it after you create objects but before you execute the code. So here, we write down functions. And to define a function, we use the def keyword. So def for define, right turn. Open and close brackets, and then colon. And then here, this is where we define the function. And then now we're going to copy, well, cut all this code out and then paste it in here. But we've got to make sure that everything is indented to be under the right-hand turn function. This wheel start has to be indented under the while loop. Okay, so the indentations in Python are really important because it tells the code what the scope is. Okay, so now that we've defined the function for a right turn, we've got to call the function. So down here, where we had the code before, we just go right turn. Open and close bracket. Okay, let's run the code. Perfect. What if I tried to run the code twice? If I wanted to run the code twice, then you'd think that I'd go like this. Right turn again. But you're going to find that something strange is going to happen. So it only did the turn once. And the reason is because when you start the code, it resets the gyro. And then it doesn't reset the gyro after you've made the turn. So it's a good thing we have a function, because now we're going to use the function to reset the gyro before we do the maneuver. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So here we want to reset the gyro before the start of moving on our turn. So we're going to define our function again. We go hub.motionSensor.reset your angle. Okay, so now it should be fine and do the two moves instead of just the one. Okay, perfect. So that's how we do a right-hand turn. But what if I want to do a custom angle turn? Just like in Scratch, we can add parameters to our myblocks, right? And here we add parameters to our functions, or arguments. So we're going to add a parameter in so that you can change what degrees you want to turn the robot. Here we go. So we don't have to worry about the right-hand turns. And we can keep our function there because, you know, you might want to do a right-hand turn like that. So let's go define custom turn. And then here we put in angle. Angle is a variable that we create. Right? This could be named anything. It could be X, for example. But here we're going to call it angle. And then everything is going to be exactly the same as what we had before. Except this 90. Instead of 90, we're going to replace that with angle. So now, if I wanted to do a custom turn, then I would say, like, if I want to do a 45-degree turn, then I'd go custom turn 45. Okay. Okay. Isn't that cool? All right, that was a really super simple, short, and also quite complex lesson. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if it's helping you out, and I will see you again on the next one. Bye-bye.